My name is Angela Peoples.
And my name is Jonathan Peoples.
All right, so tonight we're going to talk about why we share, which is really important so that you can know who we are and why we feel qualified to share, right? This is a look ahead of what we're going to share with you tonight. So where did we come from prior to marriage? What was our first 13 and a half years together like? The event that changed our lives as individuals and our marriage. What our marriage sounds or looks like now as we're wrapping up our 17th year. And we'll look at the tools before and after our 13th year mark. Then we're going to end our session tonight with homework. As we'll do every Thursday night, we'll give you a little piece of homework. An optional question and answer time will be available. And then I told you about the homework practice sessions. They're on Mondays at 1:30 Central Time, Standard, and Tuesday, 6:30 Central Standard Time. And John will always pray us out, and we'll continue to pray for each of you through the week as you're trying to get back in to see us, and as you're trying to put these tools in practice. So welcome again. I see somebody's watching from Thailand. So welcome from Thailand.
So since I'm the man, I guess I get to start. So a short biography about myself. There's a photo of me when I believe I was 5 or 6. I was the eldest child of 3. So my sister was second. She had special needs. I was born and raised to be a self-starter and very independent. So my mother was a registered nurse, but on account of my sister, she stayed home as a housewife and mother. So I was known to have been washing dishes at age 2, and I was knitting and sewing clothing at age 6. I was also baking bread for the household at age 8. And I was one of the, quotes, registered cooks for the household by the age 10. And I started training in as a rear chainman for my dad's land surveying business at age 12. So I was homeschooled through my junior year of high school. And I chose, however, to attend a private school after that, my senior year, and I paid for that all myself. I was very proud of that. After high school graduation, I spent 7 years in Europe, during which time I found a foreign bride. After returning to the United States with my new family, my wife became unfaithful, which led to irreconcilable differences. I became frustrated and bitter, and I developed a bad attitude toward my ex-wife because I believed that she had ruined my life. I felt trapped, and I thought that if I could just marry an honest woman, then she would bring me the happiness that I was missing. I began some serious counseling right away and started reading every single marriage book published to be sure that I was better prepared for the next woman. So don't tell anyone, but I began searching for a woman with which I could establish a solid home environment that would encourage my daughter to visit me more regularly and maybe live full-time with us. Angela entered into that contract with me in August of 2007. Though I don't think she understood that's what she was getting herself into. Oops, she's listening. Well, now she knows the truth. Now that I have both feet in my mouth, Angela, did you know what you were getting yourself into?
Now, Mr.
Now,
Peoples.
you don't have to answer that question.
Okay.
So is it your turn?
I think so.
Okay, back to Angela.
All right. So I was the second child in a sea of 6. I learned early to make a splash or go completely unseen. The desire to be seen and unseen fluctuated, depending on the results and the consequences of being seen. My dad died 3 months before I was born in a vehicle accident. Revolving connections and disconnections with 3 more remarriages and corresponding divorces, none of which hit the 4-year mark, marked my trajectory up through my high school years. Their relatives, of course, came and vanished just as fast as they did. But the Lord answered a 3-month prayer during my senior year of high school for work. I prayed that He would give me a job that I knew that He knew that I knew that I could do. So 2 days after I graduated, I abruptly relocated from home to a transition springboard for life, directly on God's side time. On this platform, I was plunged into the unknowns of decision making for the simplest of topics. Buy a shirt? Sure, just tell me what I have to buy. I was older upon entering 4-year college and continued my mother hen style for all under me. I lived my life by the phrase, nobody dies on my watch. Needless to say, I left college without gathering side-to-side connections. When Jonathan and I met, I was looking for a permanent, committed connection. Totally secure. Jonathan.
Uh-oh.
Why does my toothbrush look like a walrus?
That's my toothbrush. Thank you very much.
This is my toothbrush. I have the orange toothbrush. Pretend it's orange. This is a real life toothbrush demonstration. However, we do not have the orange ones left.
Mine is the orange one. I have been using it for a long time.
Well, it's obvious you're using it for a long time, but yours is the blue one. Mine is the orange, and you made it look like a walrus. That's disgusting. Keep your mouth off my toothbrush. Blue is a boy color. Orange is mine.
That is my toothbrush, and what does it matter anyway?
It matters. I don't want your teeth and your dirty mouth getting clean on my toothbrush.
It doesn't matter.
Ugh. So my toothbrush is never going to be safe?
So we had read premarital books.
Yes.
We had premarital counseling.
Yeah.
We had attended marriage seminars. We read all the marriage and relationship books that we could get our hands on. And we also had professional counseling, but all of that did little to prevent or stop the clashing that continued to happen between us. To those who were looking on, this is an honest fact. True?
True.
Okay. To those who were looking on, it actually seemed like we had a great marriage. Doesn't make any sense, does it? So, in fact, people would actually come to us and ask for marital advice from us because we had so much knowledge and we looked so good, but we were not okay. We both had disappeared from the marriage relationship. So there were times when one or the other would show up as themselves in the marriage, but that would cause a tailspin which would drive us both back into hiding. So did I mention happiness? So didn't I say I was searching for happiness from this relationship or through this relationship? Well, I certainly wasn't finding any. And I would admit, I think we would both admit that neither of us were very happy. And our breaking point came in our 13th year of marriage.
At this time, I heard a Hope Restored Intensive radio ad by Focus on the Family. Someone had mentioned the idea before, but I decided at that time I was going to give myself a birthday gift. The gift of either walking away or staying together. But it was going to be without pain on my birthday.
Here's actually a screenshot from the Focus on the Family website. You can see there the address, and I'll just read a little bit of details about it. So a Hope Restored Intensive is a biblically based Christian counseling experience for couples who might be facing a crisis moment in their marriage or suffering from years of disconnection and relationship decay. Licensed Christian counselors are trained to work with couples with deep hurts and long-term problems. The Focus Marital Therapy method packs nearly a year's worth of personalized counselings into 3 to 5 days, allowing you to break patterns of conflict and miscommunication more effectively than with weekly counseling. The redemptive hope of the gospel is at the center of their counseling therapy. So, as couples experience Christ's grace and forgiveness, first as individuals, then as a couple, you can start on a path to restoration. But I will tell you, it is very intense.
We used boxes and boxes of tissue. They had bowls of treats and chocolates. The pillows were, I think there were 17 pillows on the bed. It was a very intense. So they tried to make everything else easy and as pain-free.
And so I want to shoot one more thing on the screen here just to show you where they're located. If you maybe would like to go there, we would definitely recommend it. There are currently 5 different intensive locations here in the United States. There's one in Missouri, and that's where we attended back in 2020. There's one in Michigan, one in Georgia, one in Arizona, and one in Texas. So if a couple is looking for a shock to get their dead marriage going, we encourage anyone no further to be looking for anybody else other than the Hope Restored Intensives. The tools that we learned were the shock that our marriage needed to get its heart beating again. So the tools that we learned were just tools. So it took a year and a half for us to kind of get a good handle of those tools so that we could start using them efficiently.
So we continue to study, though, deepening our understanding on marriage, as the Bible says. We're not going to stay where they left us, but we're ever pressing onward toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Jesus Christ. So that's where we have. I think it was Jeff. Jeff sent me an email this morning in communication about this, and at the bottom of his email, it had this quote, and I was like, yes, that's it. It's those only will enter heaven who have overcome the temptation to speak and act unkindly and harshly. That's from This Day with God, page 111. That's my favorite author right now.
And so we're going to share with you some of the core tools that we learned at the Focus on the Family Intensive. This seminar is primarily customized concepts that have helped us to grow in our marriage and relationship to get it to where it is today. So last year, we were getting ready to do this very seminar with the very first group, and you were contemplating the whole concept of water under the bridge. So can you tell me more about that?
Oh, yes, I remember. So this is our 7th series that we've given. But back then, when the Lord was calling us to start presenting, we were thinking and praying about it a lot. We like to be honest and be vulnerable if we're going to share. And so sharing in like a group way took a bigger stop with the Lord. And I was thinking, man, do I really get along with this guy? Like, what do I have left? Like, what if I have something bad and I say something bad? And I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought, you know what? Jonathan, you know how people say there's water under their bridge?
Yes, I'm very familiar with that concept.
Like they have past wrongs and hurts and things?
Yes.
Well, I don't have any more water under my bridge with you.
No water under your bridge?
No, it's like gone.
After 13 and a half years and there's no water left?
No, it's totally gone.
That's a God thing.
And we did not have to go back and visit every little wrong. The Lord healed us on this journey. So I just want to tell you. So this is a big, big hint and tip for you. So while at Hope Restored, at the intensive, there were 2 counselors working with us. And they gave us an analogy. It was suggested that monkeys can be caught by tying a hollowed out coconut to a tree. All right? The coconut has a hole just big enough for the monkey to put his hand into, but not big enough for him to pull out the item that is placed inside the coconut. So a monkey comes along to investigate the coconut. He puts his hand into the coconut and grabs the treasure. Some small pebble, a trinket, or a piece of fruit. Now the monkey has his hand in a fist to hold on to the object. With his hand in a fist, it's too large to withdraw from the coconut. So anyone can walk up to the monkey now and capture him alive, right? Because he won't let go. It's captured because he won't let go to save its life or be free. It values what's in the hand more than freedom. So, our last day at Hope Restored Intensive, our last meeting, the parting comments to each couple were made by our counselors. Their names were Bob and Tara. And they said, here is where you drop the penny to each person and each couple as they went around the room. And when they got to the peoples, they shook their head and said, you two, Jonathan and Angela, won't drop the penny. I have to admit, we were both stubbornly holding reactions. Anger, blame, stonewalling, playing the innocent victim. And we thought those were worth more value than letting go and walking into freedom. Holding on didn't give us freedom in the past. Holding on wasn't giving us freedom right then. But letting go to try something new was scary and it was vulnerable. And what if it didn't work? So, how do you drop the penny? We kept asking ourselves, not together. We separated to ask ourselves. This is a paradigm shift of what you consider to be valuable. You have to change your losses and your gains. Grab the homeworks that we give you. This is how you do it. Grab the little tiny concepts that we give you for each homework in your free hand and make it yours. Do it. Practice it. Then, at the end of the series, compare how what is in each hand, what you used to use and how that was working, with what you now are trying to use and how that is working. Then letting go becomes easy. It's not working, so it's easy to drop it. Okay? So the treasure and the prize gets replaced. A penny in the fist is nothing compared to freedom and no water, no record of wrongs between you and your spouse under the bridge, or between you and a parent, or you and a child.
Because these principles don't just work in the marriage, they also work with any relationship that you have, whether it's a boss, employee, whether it is a brother, sister, whether it's a parent, daughter, whatever relationship. These tools that we're going to share with you work. And they not only can work for someone else, you can actually use them to on a person, you could say, without them really knowing what the tools are, and you can actually help other people get to freedom as well.
So in other words, if my spouse, Mr. Peoples, is not participating tonight, I can begin to gain the tools, use them for myself, and when I go to communicate with him, I can use the tools that I know. I don't have to go back to blame or anger when I'm in communication, right? I can use the new tool. And what we're hearing is from the testimony of people who listen to us is as the one spouse tries to do it, the other one leans in and they're like, something is different. It feels safer with my spouse. I want to know what's going on. I want to draw in. So whether or not you're participating tonight and in future nights with your spouse does not matter. You have the opportunity to drop your penny and go free. They get to be them and choose whether to drop their penny. So I challenge you, take each homework. Lots of couples wait until 3 weeks into the series and they say, we want to see, we want to hear more before we're going to try anything. They lean back in their chairs. We often do this live. This is only the second time we're doing it via Zoom. And then 3 weeks later, they're like, wait, can you start over? I wasn't paying attention. I didn't do the homework. And of course, our answer is no, we need to keep going for those who have been doing it. So do your homework, try it out, test it out. If it's not good, get rid of it. But if it starts giving freedom, keep going.
So we also want you to know that no matter where you're at in your relationship, conflict with your marital spouse, maybe another relationship, there is hope. So we were in a very bad way, very bad way. And even the counselors themselves told us that they told us, they said, there's no way that by this time next year you guys are still going to be married. There's just no way. And that's really sad that we were the only ones in the five couples there that they had to say that to, but they were just being honest because we were being so stubborn. And so we just want you to know that even if you're in a really bad way, there is hope, and you don't have to quit. You don't have to divorce. You don't have to continue stonewalling. You don't have to continue in anger or in bitterness or anything like that. There, God will and can, He can and will give freedom. So we're going to now begin sharing an alternative way to deal with that very first situation that we brought up about the toothbrush. And I did not realize how desperately terrible this was until just recently about this toothbrush. I didn't even think it was a big deal. And we were actually talking with a young man just this weekend, and we were talking about that very same toothbrush, and he was like, yeah, it's okay. What was so big about that? But for her, that was a big deal. And so we're going to do a run here and show you how we could have handled it, how we would handle it now, and you can see for yourself if the second way works better than the first.
All new tools in practice. Hey, honey, I'm curious. Are you using this toothbrush?
Yes, I am.
Are you aware that we're using the same toothbrush?
Are we?
I'm hearing you didn't realize we were using the same toothbrush. Is that correct?
Correct. I thought the orange toothbrush was the masculine color, so I've been using it.
Am I hearing you're attempting to use your assigned toothbrush?
Correct.
Are you open to hearing my heart?
Yes.
I want to have my own toothbrush.
So am I hearing you want to be separate in the tooth cleaning business?
Yes.
So is there more?
Orange is my favorite color, and I need all the cheerleading I can get when it comes to toothbrushing.
So I'm hearing that the color orange matters when it comes to toothbrushes. Is that correct?
Yes, but more importantly, I want my own toothbrush to be mine alone.
So orange is your first choice, but individuality is more important. Is that correct?
Yes, I want my own toothbrush.
So I am hearing that you want to know that one specific toothbrush is yours.
Yeah.
Oops. There we go. Okay. So is there anything else?
No.
So are you open to hearing my heart?
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to remember which toothbrush is mine. I just want to get the job done. I have way too much on my mind and in my life to worry about than which toothbrush is whose.
Wait, let me catch up. I'm hearing you would like a clear distinction about which brush is yours.
Yes, toothbrushes change all the time, and I don't want to waste time figuring out which one is the new one for me.
Am I hearing you want a different system to tell them apart?
Yes.
Are you open to a win-win?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But we can start now, but we're going to have to finish it later because I have to leave.
You have to leave right now. We're doing a Zoom meeting. Do you have a few minutes?
Yeah, I have a few minutes.
Okay.
So we can start.
All right. So a win-win
So
as opposed to a lose-lose. All right?
So can you explain that to them, or do we do that later?
That's later.
Later, okay.
So a win-win as opposed to a lose-lose. We're going to teach you all the little baby steps to do this. This is the goal of this whole series, is a win-win every time you have a different perspective than somebody else.
So what does that mean? We don't have to compromise anymore? I get to win and you get to win too?
It's true.
How does
but
that
are
work?
you going to give all the secrets in one time?
Okay, I'll save them.
All right, let's
Try to.
get to work.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
So, Jonathan, we're going to look at you first, okay? So you mentioned some things. The deepest desire I heard you mention was to know which toothbrush is yours.
That's
is that
true.
correct?
That sums it up.
But you had a big concern.
Okay, my concern was that it's hard to remember.
And the reason for your concern?
The reason is that the toothbrushes are always changing.
Okay. So your deepest desire is to know which toothbrush is yours.
Correct.
And it's hard to remember.
Yes.
Because they change frequently.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now you?
Yeah.
So what is your deepest desire?
My deepest desire is to have my own toothbrush.
Okay, so you want to have your own toothbrush that I'm not using.
Well, I don't want anybody to use my own toothbrush.
You don't want anybody to use it. Okay.
So my biggest concern is that others will use it. I mean, your mom lives with us now.
That's true. And Melody does too. I can just see her dragging herself over there to use it.
So the reason I'm concerned is because the bathroom is not private.
True.
Right? Unless you want to build me my own private bathroom.
Oh, yeah, we got to do that. That's
but then
a
you
good
got to
idea.
stay out of it. Because it's got to be private.
Right. Okay. So, what is your reason for the concern?
The bathroom is not private.
Bathroom is not private. Okay, I got you. Okay. So, what are the options? So, are we going to tell them what we do next?
No, we're just going to do it.
Oh, okay. So, we didn't pray yet.
Well, let's do it.
Okay.
Quick, shake hands.
Okay, wait.
While they're not watching.
I got to see this. Okay, we shake hands.
Are you going to lose?
I am not going to lose.
I'm not going to lose.
I'm going to win.
Okay, me too.
Okay.
We're in.
All right, we're doing a pact. We're going to do a win-win.
All right, you want to pray, bud?
Okay, so then we pray. We usually embrace. We say, Father, we need your help to be able to rectify this situation. We have differences of opinion, and we need your help. We cannot do this on our own. Please help us. Amen.
Amen.
So then we get out the big body-sized pieces of paper, and we lay them all out on the floor, and we get all the colored markers.
Gotta have colors.
And I'm going to put this back on the screen so you guys can see it. So
Option number 1.
then we begin writing options.
Names on the toothbrushes.
I got to write my name on my toothbrush?
I could write it down.
So what if we just use the same toothbrush?
Let's go with option 3. Let's see what it is.
Okay, option 3
Orange is mine and blue is yours.
Okay. I'll go with that. I gotta write that down somewhere.
How about you get the standard colors? Blue, orange, green, yellow. I'll take the standard girl, pink, red, purple.
Okay, that's an idea.
What else?
What if we had the sides of a counter, like Angela on one side, Jonathan on the other side?
I'm left-handed. You're right-handed.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that would work. Okay.
Let's put 6 on here.
Okay.
A cosmetic bag for me to hold my toothbrush.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So what if we did separate, toothbrush holders for Angela and Jonathan?
That's an idea. That's an
Okay.
idea.
Okay.
Let's get another. Oh, you do the red because you like red, and I get orange and yellow. I like orange and yellow.
Okay. Okay, that's an idea.
All right.
Okay, what do we got?
Oh, I can write messages on the mirror.
Oh.
I can point an
Angela.
arrow. Here's your toothbrush. Here's my toothbrush. I can do that.
Okay. Oh, build a new bathroom. We're back to that one. Okay. Nice.
Could I have a jacuzzi and a shower?
Yes. We definitely need
And
that.
like a little desk in there.
Right. So you can study.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So didn't we already do that one?
Different styles of toothbrushes. Like you could have a skinny one and I could have a fat one.
Oh yeah. And 12. An electric toothbrush.
Now you're talking.
Because
I do like electric.
I would never use an electric toothbrush.
But you wouldn't?
I would never use one.
But I need all the cheerleading I get. It's gonna like, yeah, you got it, because the toothbrush is doing have to work. Oh yeah. If it was electric, I like this.
So do I.
That would work for you?
Yes.
It would be a win?
Yes, that'd be a win.
Doesn't matter what colors.
No, doesn't matter.
We did
Just has a battery, we're good.
Win-win. Done. We made it in time too.
We did?
Yeah, they're still here.
Oh, right. Okay, we're being watched, aren't we?
Yeah, we better get
Okay.
back to work.
So, continuing on, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Drum roll. Intro the kayak story. All right, so we were re-siding a home for sale. Before we moved to Missouri, we lived in Washington State, and we needed to put new siding, batten board on the house in order for the sale to go through. Jonathan is a contractor, and so he knows all things measuring and cutting and chopping and hammering and noise and sawdust. Angela, on the other hand, she is not a seamstress, so she does not have any of these qualifications. However, she was assisting, although untrained, for the tasks assigned. It was a very hot, off-grid summer, and we lived in the second floor apartment above. The kayak normally resided on the upper porch. However, due to the construction, it was precariously balanced, you'll see in the next photo, between the railing and the stairs. All right, so I walked by the kayak on my way up the stairs and I said, Jonathan, can we go kayaking tomorrow?
No, I need to work on the house.
All right, so the next morning I get up and come out the door at the 0 o'clock time because he starts when sunup arrives. And I sleep in till at least 5 a.m. And I walk out the door, I turn to my right, and I see this, what you see now.
There.
And so, can't you hear him just saying, come on, get in, we're doing what you wanted today?
So, but I thought you said you wanted to spend time in the kayak.
This is not what I had in mind. Like I said, I wanted to be in the kayak, yes, but this is not being in the kayak.
Okay.
More.
Looks like I'm in the kayak to me.
More on this story
Later. Yes. So,
Compromise equals death.
so our realtor told us about her experience of working with people when they're buying and selling real estate. So obviously every person is different, so we're not trying to say that this is going to work in your neck of the woods. But from her experience, and we found that to be true in our relationship, from her experience, people in the West are only willing to dicker on a price of a home for so long. So she actually told us it was 3 times, so 3 counter offers. And she said, then it's like their patience is consumed and they will drop the contract and continue their search for other options available without continuing on with that one that they were working on before. So if the 2 families had been friends before, the friendship is over. That's what she found. So if they were only acquaintances and they saw the other couple in a grocery store, for example, they would actually walk down a different aisle to not meet the other person that they are no longer friends with on account of this deal that went sour. So, why is this important? You're thinking to yourself. Well, virtually all books, all seminars, all counselors out there will teach you that compromise is the only way that you can make your marriage work. So, they will all try to teach you how to compromise better. So there's classes and there's seminars and there's books. I mean, I could begin naming them for you from
Spare us.
Spare us? Okay. So we learned at Hope Restored that when couples use compromise to solve conflict in their marriages, that brings death to their marriage relationship. So, back out to Angela here. She has something important to say.
More on this idea of compromise, both biblically and practically, as the series continues. We're just giving you who we are, where we come from, what it looked like before, what it looked like after, and little tastes of all the things we hope to share more details with you if you choose to continue on in the series with us. So here come the tools we used to use. Anger was my favorite tool. This is an aggressive attack, right? It creates an air buffer, creates space, So that was my favorite thing.
And mine was stonewalling. I absolutely love the stubborn resistance. A person's shouting at me or whatever, shaking the fist in my face, and I just calmly just hold my ground.
Disappearing. This is giving in to the other person's wishes or desires or commands for peace, right? So you disappear or they disappear to try to get peace, right?
We did use prayer,
Oh, yeah. We tack that on the
but
end every time.
yeah, didn't really help us all that much. At least didn't seem like it anyway. Maybe we would have killed each other otherwise. I don't know. But anyway,
I think that's what kept us on the journey trying to find what would work. The
you're
prayer.
probably right. The prayer is what got us through,
So
sort of, at the end.
now we're going to show you the tools that we use now and that we're going to be spending the time trying to share with you and break down into actual applicable steps that you can do. Things you can change in your thinking, in your speech, in your heart as we go through this series. So the first is knowing your fears or buttons. Knowing your reactions. What happens? Finding unity in your individuality. Providing an honorable exit for yourself or the other person. Vocabulary. Vocabulary is power. Knowledge is power, right? If you don't have the words, you're not going to make it anywhere in communication. So adding in some vocabulary if that's the piece you're missing. Physical cues. What happens in your body? What happens between you and the other party? How can you know what these are? Prayer, sandwiched in the middle. Truth. What is truth? Truth is an amazing thing and it has the ability to set you free. So what is truth? Integrity steps. What are some steps to maintain integrity for yourself when you have communication difficulties? What are the listener prompts and objectives that we use when we're in communication with ourselves, between ourselves, and when I work with people that are hostile to me or they're hostile between each other and I work with them? What are those listener prompts and objectives? And the goal of our series is the win-win. We call this series the team wins because in a marriage, you are a team. You are united, you are together. What God hath joined us together, let no man break us under, right? So you are together. So how can you find a win-win? A double win because he's him and I'm her. So how can you find that win-win?
Number one for our homework this week is that we would like you to be looking at the different ways that compromise has slipped into your relationship. So number one is compromise equals death. So we're gonna state that as the rule here, and then we're gonna ask you to look for ways in your relationships that you compromise with others in order to make things work out better.
This is why we gave you the example of the kayak, right? So that you could see a very obvious compromise, right? He's working on the house with saws and hammers while standing in the precariously balanced kayak and offering to have me come join him for the day. Sawdust floating down onto me like a gentle breeze, right? Okay, so where is that compromise? This may sound like a statement of physical independence. You be you and I'll be me. And it might be necessary or true in some situations to have a physical independence. But this you be you and I'll be me is where your big homework comes in. If a person has never understood or accepted their God-given mental and spiritual independence, this is an easy, I'm going to say quotes, easy, unassuming method to verbally start training yourself to be a self-governing individual and let the other person be their own self-governing individual. Each one of us is created differently and with responsibility between us and God. This sentence is more about a state of your mind, you be you and I'll be me, than it is about a state of physical circumstances or surroundings. Additionally, this sentence alerts others of the truth about them and their potential to be self-governing.
So it represents that there is no umbilical cord that it's attached. So, and best of all, this is what I love the most about number 2. You be you, or you be yourself, and I'll be myself, is how I see it. Best of all, it tells the other person that you're not only giving them the freedom to be themselves, but that you're okay and that you want them to be themselves.
This is so powerful. I just want to tell you, it's so powerful when you let the other person know that you are not going to come get them, you're not going to come twist their arm, you're not going to throw tomatoes. When they make a choice you don't like, you're going to let them make that choice. It is very freeing for that individual, and that especially begins an openness between you. Okay, so this is just a little tiny baby step. We're going to explain this deeper and deeper as we go about the series. But at the surface, letting somebody say, you be you and I'll be me. All right, so we're going to give you a couple of demonstrations. Jonathan, I think we should have cake after this.
I'm hearing that Angela would like cake.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess Angela would like cake.
Well, maybe we should go get you some cake.
You don't want cake?
No, I don't want any cake.
But,
You be you, and I'll be me.
so I can have cake?
You, of course, may have cake. Certainly, I'll drive you down there and we can buy it, whatever cake you want. I know she doesn't like cake.
All right, your turn.
So I was thinking that I would like to rent a U-Haul,
Washing dishes over here.
and then I want to fill it with pillows. And then I want to strap ginormous balloons to the bottom of the U-Haul.
Wait, let me catch up. You're renting a U-Haul
Yep.
with pillows and balloons?
Fill it, yes. So under the U-Haul will go big giant rubber pillows,
Okay.
and so that it can actually float. And then I want to fill the entire back of the U-Haul with pillows. And then I'm going to get in the middle of that thing. And then I'm going to float over the Niagara Falls. And I'm going to see how I survive. Don't you think
Oh.
that's a good idea?
I'm going to let you be you, and I'm going to be me. I got these dishes to finish, so I'll let you be you.
Okay.
All right. So those were 2 examples of things that we might disagree on for ourselves, or we might want to tell the other person about. So we give them the option to do what they want or ask what they want, go after what they want, without providing critique. We just say, go ahead. You be you, I'm going to be me, right? Okay, so I'm going to make the announcement again that we have homework sessions available Monday at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you give me a moment, Jonathan can talk, and I'm going to drop the specific link in the feed, and then we're going to get to some Q&A with J&A. All right. So,
So I think we should go get some ice cream.
I'm going to let you be you and I'll be me. I'm working on finding the link for these guys.
Let's see. I think it's time for us to buy a new car.
Am I hearing you want a new car?
I am. I do want a new car.
Well, I'm going to let you be you and I'll be me. I think that's the right link. Can somebody click it and tell me? Let's see. I'm going to pull up the chat now.
So should we?
Yeah. Q&A with J&A.
So at this time, if there's any questions that you would like to write in to the chat, you may do so at this time.
Somebody said the link is correct. It works. If you go to that link, there'll be 3 options. A 55-minute session, that's just an individual coaching session with me. I coach for the Law of Life New Paradigm Ministries. And the orange is the Team Win series. Every week, you'll have to go and sign up again for the next week. We're not going to force you to participate all the time. I don't know how to give you the same link every time and let you sign up yourself. And then the blue one is for the homework. And you'll see there's a Monday option and a Thursday option. Again, if you're overseas, it may not say Monday and Thursday. It might be like, would it be Sunday and Wednesday? Or Tuesday and
probably.
Friday? Oh, I love these questions coming in the chat. You're doing a great job. Remember, the chat is privately between you and us, so don't be afraid to throw your questions in there. Your journey and you're struggling with this and getting success helps other people. All right. So we'll just look for questions starting from the top. Let's see. How do we register for homework and what is the homework? The homework is to look for compromise. Remember, we said the kayak was a clear compromise. He was not being successful sighting the house, and I was not getting to go kayaking, but we were going to do both, right? In the kayak, side the house. So that's an example. Some of these questions are already answered. Again, the series meets once a week at this time on this date each week. You're welcome for us being willing to do this. The link for the homework is there. Okay. Somebody asked for more specifics. So let's give another specific about compromise, huh? So, I don't know, Could you hold these for a while? Because I need all these held for like 3 hours. Could you just hold them
3
up here?
hours?
Yeah,
I
like I
can't
need
do
you to
that.
hold these. Like, okay.
I'm busy.
Come on, I
I'm
need you to
like
hold
right in the
these.
middle
Well,
of a
look,
Zoom.
I'll just put them here.
Put them in my pocket, but you're kind of like
It's
violating my space here.
fine. Like,
I look really
you won't have
dorky
a
now.
problem. Like, there's one
I'm
more. Okay. There's some compromise happening here. So we have done a lot of violations here that we'll tell you about throughout the series and how to break those violations. But the compromise is he's holding those things for the next 3 hours at the moment. That's what the compromise is. Okay, so there's another example of compromise. All right.
So does that make me want to love her more?
Oh. Well, it should. Like I gave you all these like writing things. Like you like to write on things. And I'm not making you hold them in your hand. Come on, you should definitely love me more. All right. And does that make me feel good that he's protesting about doing what I asked him that I needed, right? Or asked him to do?
So it's a lose-lose.
Ooh, a lose-lose.
It's a win for me, but a lose for her, and that's a compromise. So anytime there's a conflict and only one person gets their way, it's compromise.
Okay, so remember we're a team, and if you're a team,
So tell us about that.
we're going to get into that in the next weeks. We're going to get into that. But when somebody's on a team, if one person loses, the whole team loses. So that's the
So
thing that we're
most
presenting here.
marriages today is opposing teams in the same marriage. So one gets to win, one gets to lose, one gets to win, so forth, back and forth. And that is death to the relationship.
Okay, so we have a question here. If you're attending the seminar by yourself, should you make the announcement to your spouse or just do it? So, do I need to announce to you, Mr. Peoples, that I'm going to let you be you?
No.
Oh, I can just let you be you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like you put away all those things.
You don't need to warn me.
I don't have to warn you?
No, you just do it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. If it'll work, great. I love it. Just do it. You don't
Because we don't want to be threatening. So many spouses would consider something like that a threat.
I'm
And
gonna let you be you, and I'm gonna be me.
I think I better hide.
Okay.
We want to take the threatening, the bitterness, the anger, and all those things out of the relationship because that's not going to make for a good relationship.
So repeating the days and the hours of the homework, Central Standard Time, Missouri time, it's on Mondays at 1:30 p.m. And Tuesday, Central Standard Time in Missouri, in the United States, it's 6:30 p.m. So Tuesday would be the same time as what you're here now. When you arrived here this evening would be the same time you would arrive, but on a Tuesday. Or you can do the 1:30 on a Monday. All right. Team Wins itself, where we teach you a new concept and we demonstrate it vulnerably in front of you, will continue once a week. Hey, I like that. I did not know that you can let me know that I answer your question. Somebody just let us know. They put a check mark somehow, and I love it. So I love it. All right. The link is working. It's the right link. Somebody wants to know. Oh, this is such a good question. So we said, Jonathan, did you say you wanted to buy a new car?
Yeah, I need a new car.
Okay. So, do you want to tell me more about that? Because I'm pretty sure that we don't have a car fund.
A car fund? We're supposed to go to the bank to get money to buy a car.
Oh, okay. So you're going to go to the bank and see if you can get a loan?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you be you, and I'll be me.
Okay.
All right. If it's not a win for me, letting him be him, we can ask for a win-win. But right now, we're not teaching you all the steps to get to a win-win. We're just teaching you the first step. It is letting him be him and be responsible for him. I know there's no car fund. I know what the bank is going to say. I know what my husband is like, right? He may buy us a car. There may be a car sitting out there tomorrow, right? But I need to start allowing him to be him, and I'm going to be me. That's the only way to get to success. And right now, when you're starting, you choose how and when and where, right, to start this concept with your spouse, right? If your spouse says, I'm going to go blow $1 million tonight, I'm going to spend it, right? Blow it by spend it, then you might not say, I'm going to let you be you and I'm going to be me. That might not be the first time you use this. You might use it in other ways first, right?
Start small.
Start small. Would toothbrushes be a good place to start?
That's a good place to start.
All right. Okay, so somebody said the only option is Thursday. The only option for Team Wins should be Thursday. Team Wins homework, the blue. Team Wins is orange. Team Wins homework is blue when you go to that link. And it should show Mondays and Tuesdays. So please check that out. Oh no, somebody else said this link looks like it's for the seminar on Thursday. All right, hold on.
So we sent you the wrong link then.
Let me go back. 2 people said it was Thursdays. I am on the wrong place, guys. Okay, just a second. Don't panic. The non-techie has some tech abilities. Aha, here it is. Okay, going back. Wait, I lost you guys. I can't see you. Here you are. All right, hold on. Where'd the chat go? Okay, here comes. I gotta send it to all of you. Whoops, hold on. All right, that's my personal booking link. It should be, and it should show all 3 bookings that you can do with me. pink, orange, and blue. Now we got to go back up here and see where we're at. Thank you for telling me that. There are no Monday options. Okay, so here's one. So if you do the you get to be you and I am me, how does that work when this is a car being purchased and this decision would affect both people? All right, I love it. This is a very good thing to ask. And we are going to get more and more in depth on this, how you can find your personal win when what they choose is not a win for you. Okay, so that's going to be another meeting, but that is quite a distance down the road. But we are going to help you find how to have your own personal win when your spouse does not want to have a win-win. They're not open for it. And they are going to go make that purchase. Whether you attack them or whether you let them be their own individual, they're still going to make that purchase. Okay?
So giving them the freedom to make that stupid choice is going to be what love does.
That's right.
It doesn't seem like it, and you're going to be scared to death, but that's where we're going to be starting to teach you all the different steps that can get you prepared for that situation where your husband says, I'm going to go spend $1 million tonight at the casino. And you're like, okay.
And on the inside of you, you're not rebelling. On the inside, you're really okay with saying, you know what? Okay. I'm going to find my own personal win, is what you say inside your head, right? And you know that you'll find your own personal win. But this is a baby step process. And so we're going to build you up one step at a time each week. And we're not going to overwhelm you with the whole thing, although we introduced the whole thing tonight. So after this, we're just going to take one little concept, teach you that concept, and give you a specific homework for that one. All right? But we'll keep telling you the goal is to get the win-win. Okay, so what do you do if you're not married? How would this work for caretaking with elderly parents? This is a great question.
Very good question.
Are we taking care of any elderly parents right now?
Yes.
We are?
We have for 9 years.
Oh.
10 years.
Who are they?
Well, we had your mom living with us, and we had my parents and my sister, and we had my grandmother.
Oh, that's right. We've had a lot of elderly parent care.
Yes, we have.
Okay, so do parents sometimes make choices that do grandmas and grandpas and great-grandmas and great-grandpas sometimes make choices that you don't want them to make? They want to wear a sweatshirt and a coat and it's 110 degrees outside? Yeah, sometimes they do. How do you do the you be you and I'll be me when you're the caretaker?
Very good question.
Very good question. Should we give a demo?
Yes, let's do it.
Which one do you want to be, the caretaker or the carry?
I think I'm going to be the obstinate old person.
Okay.
I am older than you are.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so I'm going to be the caretaking mother hen. That sounds like it resonates with me. All right. I'm going to call you Jima. Can I call you Jima?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm Jima.
All right. So
And
Jima.
what was your name again?
Oh, Jima.
And do you know my schedule? Because I need to get out of here. This place, they're gonna cut my hair, and I do not want my hair cut.
You know what? We should go out and pick green beans because it's important to pick green beans.
Green beans?
Yeah, come on.
I used to pick green beans when I was a
yeah,
little girl.
Tell me about that. Can you tell
Yeah.
me picking green beans?
Yeah, seems like you have to go down like this.
Yeah, can you
and
reach
then
it?
Okay, here's one right here, and then you bring it up here and you snap the end off.
Oh,
and
look,
then
here's
this
a
end over
puppy.
here.
Do you see he brought you a stick?
What does that puppy want?
He dropped a stick at your feet.
A stick?
Yeah, do you mind?
Where? I don't feel it. Let's see here.
Can you get it?
Oh, right here. Oh, there is a stick here. Okay, so where's the puppy again?
Oh, he's right there. He's ready. Can you throw
right
it?
there? Okay. Here, you want the stick?
Oh, it looks like it's hard for you to throw it with that coat on. Can I help you take that off?
Okay.
All right, let's get the coat off, Grandma.
Okay.
Right? Here we go.
Oh, That's pretty nice. And who are you again?
Ah, I am Angela. We should be getting back to those green beans.
Green beans. Oh, right.
Okay, so just in case you're wondering, we did take care of Jonathan's grandma for a while, and I called her Jima, and her favorite peaceful pastime growing up was picking green beans. And I heard about this. She told me stories about this. And so every time she would become obstinate or difficult to work with or unwilling to do something, that was for her best good. Like it's 110 and she has a sweater and a jacket on and she's literally not making it, right? I can go to those conversations that I know are peaceful and calming with her. And then from there, give her a reason why the coat needs to come off that she will resonate with, right? So whether or not you have dementia or not, and in this case we did, but you can help them come to a place of peace, whatever that is. You know what those conversations are, or you will learn what those conversations are. You take them to that place and then encourage them into a task they can't do unless they can, follow your direction, right? Maybe, well, let's get you eating. Well, I don't have any forks. Okay, well, maybe you're willing to take this fork now, right? Because I'm offering. And maybe before you were throwing a fit, you would only use a knife to eat. But now you're willing for the fork because now you see a need, right? So, not all parents or people you caretake for are elderly, we understand, but we had an example for you off the cuff, and so that's what we gave you. Okay, so, okay, so there's a question here. What if the other person is doing something wrong or dangerous? How do you let them be themselves and alert them of the danger or if they are doing wrong?
Very good question.
Now, if you're this size, you may need to be alerted that something is dangerous. If you're this size, then it's up to you, right? He's an adult. His mental capacities are fine. They're working, last I checked. Are they working for you?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
Working
so
very well.
he is responsible for his own body, right? If he decides to jump off of Niagara Falls in U-Haul
In the U-Haul truck.
with
Yep.
the balloons and the pillows, I might deem that to be too risky behavior and that he's going to die, right? But he has his own mental faculties about him. I am not assigned his elderly care. He's not that much elderly than me anyway. But he is not one of the people that I care for. He's not this big and I have to keep him alive, right? And he doesn't know how to tie his shoes or something like that. So in a spouse side-to-side relationship where the spouse has mental capacities, let them be them. It's okay if they cut off their finger. I've done it. He had to let me. It wasn't very long until I asked for help.
So what we are learning is that the reason that we want to stop somebody from doing something that is wrong really has little to do with our love for them. In reality, it has to do with our selfishness. And so we are selfishly trying to protect them and keep them from doing wrong, which is getting in between them and the jurisdiction that they have together with God. So who do they answer to? Do they answer to me? Absolutely not. Do you answer to me?
Is that a trick question?
No.
Well, because you are my spouse, and as long as you are connected fully to God and you're asking me to do something within his jurisdiction of what he would ask me, it would be okay if I follow your direction, but I'm not accountable to you.
You are not accountable to me, and I'm not accountable to you. I'm only accountable to God.
Right?
And so what we must remember is if each person is accountable to God only, then that means if they want to do something stupid or even wrong, then we, as in the place of God, can give them love and allow them to do whatever it is that they want to do wrong. So,
Okay, so we're unpacking a lot tonight. But again, we are going to be unpacking this a little bit and a little bit as we go. So to answer some of these questions, we're pulling on information that you would learn later in the series. So if it feels overwhelming or over your head, don't give up yet. Okay? So we still have more questions in the chat. Our time is rapidly concluding here. Okay, so again, somebody's asking about what if you disagree? Then we're going to teach you how to find the win-win. Okay, so that you can have different opinions, you can have different perspectives, you can have different desires, and you still can find a win-win. And we demonstrated that with the toothbrushes. So we will get to that. Somebody said they found that they could go back to the previous screen when they were trying to book. Another person found you could go back. Thank you for helping out. So you don't have to sign up for the homework sessions. The homework sessions are if you want to come and say, hey, I did the UBU and I get to be me. This is how I did it. This is where it worked. Or for you to come and say, I really don't understand. Can you give me more examples, right, of the homework? And we can help you with that. I'm glad for those of you who are understanding. We're going to keep unpacking how they can make bad choices and I can still have a great life and have joy and not be bitter.
Because my happiness doesn't depend on her or anything she does for me or doesn't do for me.
So the you be you and I'll be me, you can either say it aloud or you can say something else aloud or you can just be like, all right, honey, right? You can say whatever you want or not say whatever you want. But just maintaining like stubborn silence, you may need to have a check.
It is important to say,
We got the check mark.
yes, it is important to let them know that you're okay with them being themselves and saying that in a verbal way. You could write it as well if you wanted to, write it on the mirror or something in the bathroom or whatever. But they need to know that, but not as a threat. Okay, the next time you do that, no, don't get into that sort of a thing. But verbally telling them, you be you, I'm going to be me, is giving them the freedom to be who they are before God.
Next question is about being my brother's keeper. What if they're making a decision on limited info? Are they an adult? Are they asking for your advice? If they're not asking, and this is a relationship where you have been at odds and they don't like it when you try to tell them, don't tell them. Wait for them to ask. Right? It's okay to let them make choices and make decisions based on limited info. I could research for an hour or something on technology and I would still be acting on limited info. Where my husband, he could just like advise me, but if I'm not open to it, I don't want his advice, it won't improve our relationship for him to tell me, right? I need to allow our relationship to grow by him letting me be my own individual and not have to do whatever he says in relation to technology if I don't want to. Somebody's already experiencing some freedom. That's wonderful. People are saying some people are understanding it. The recording. Okay, so we are trying the recording. Mr. Peoples will be trying to put it together a little bit
Higher quality. We're going to be trying to get something high quality to you guys. So right at the moment, we don't have a venue for that, but we will be getting that to you as soon as possible. So hopefully in the next couple days, we'll be able to send out an email and let you guys know where it's located.
Thank you for giving us your emails so that we can do that when we have that ready. And by the end of the series, maybe it will be coming to you right away. I love it. You guys are check marking when we've answered. Yes, hopefully, Lord willing, you'll be able to rewatch each of the things. Okay, what do you do if the other person does not allow you to be you? All right, so we're going to continue to unpack this concept over the next couple of weeks, how you can be you when they don't want you to be you. And you're going to start finding success, hopefully, and finding freedom, even though they're like, steam coming out their ears, face like this, right? You're still going to get to be you, right? So wonderful. I'd love to answer it all tonight, but we'd be here all night and the next day too. And great. Okay, so we've come to the end of our question and answers in the chat. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for participating. We apologize to those who we did not get in from the waiting room as promptly as we could. Hopefully we'll have that figured out. And again, I will try to have this open and you're able to enter like maybe in a half an hour ahead of time so that you can get in before the last minute or late if you have the opportunity on your side. Okay. So we are a donation-based ministry, so this is not a charged thing. This is a free thing to you. And so if you'd like to invite others, feel free to do so. You can at any time. Each evening at the end of the session, when we get done and we close this out, you'll get 2 emails coming out. You'll get the email about that we're a donation-based ministry, and if you'd like to donate via prayer, time, volunteership or resources or anything, that you're welcome to do those things. If you don't feel guilty about coming. Lots of people who need help don't have the resources at that time. We will be praying for you. Whether or not you have the opportunity to pray for us or volunteer or work for us, irrelevant. Just come. Jesus says, freely you have received, freely give. We are freely giving. So please take that opportunity and participate if you would like to continue with us. So you'll get that email. And then you'll get the email that says, would you like to schedule for the next Thursday night's Zoom meeting for Team Wins? You'll be able to click that and hopefully it will take you to the same place. It has a link to go to the regular ministry page. And then it also has my personal link that I put in the chat today. So it should have both of those options in that email and give you the opportunity to sign up again. And if you go to one of those 2 links, you'll have the homework opportunity there as well. So each time we close out, those emails will shoot out automatically. I've set up the computer. It looks like it's all ready. So hopefully that will happen. And then as the week goes by, it will give you a couple of reminders. So I think at the 24-hour before we meet, it will send you a reminder and say, hey, the Team Wins, it's coming up. And then I believe at the 1-hour mark, it will send you an email and say, hey, the 1-hour mark, Team Wins is in an hour. If you said you would like to receive texts, it will send to text. You may get text and an email. I don't know. It's not sending them to me. So if you guys want to tell me how you're getting them, that's fine. I'm not sure how to tell those of you who are overseas and have like WhatsApp capabilities what the telephone number is, because I've asked people who participated in the last Zoom session, the first one we did, and they had all different telephone numbers. Texting them those information. So I apologize that I cannot get that information to you for the WhatsApp. If I figure out more, I will definitely get that. I'm learning. Okay, we have a couple more things here that have come in. Oh, somebody is suggesting some higher quality microphones. Wonderful suggestion. I appreciate hearing that. Thank you for that knowledge. And when we are able, we will do that. Anyone who is participating right now will get the opportunity to sign up when we close. And those who were on earlier should also have that email coming in. Okay, so some people are okay with the mics. Others are saying that we could make a change there. We will continue to upgrade as we have the time and resources to do that. Okay, so Jonathan, would you like to close us out?
So let's bow our heads and pray. Father in heaven, we're thankful to you that you brought us to a place now, today, where we're no longer struggling to get along in our marriage. You've given us tools and you've worked in our hearts and you've gotten us to where we understand each other and we're not always fighting with each other. And so I'm praying that as we close out our meeting, that your Spirit would continue to work on everyone who is watching and our hearts as well. And please, will you help us to be able to continue to bring these this series to the people that need to know these tools as well. We ask that your Spirit would go with each person. Your angels will be surrounding them and protecting them. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. And we will review the chat in case we missed something. It's kind of a small square to read. All right, so thank you for coming tonight. I hope that you found something in our story that maybe encouraged or resonated with you. And if you're able and wanting to keep going, we'll see you next week.
Next week, we're actually going to have session number 2, and it is entitled Checking Fears and Tears. So we are going to talk about one of the most deadly obstacles to the health of our marriages and any interpersonal relationship that we may have. So we are going to share how we learned what our fears and reactions were so that we could check them out of our hearts, just like you might check baggage on an airline flight. Angela?
A truly intimate connection without fear can allow for the win-win for a team. With baggage, with fear, a win-win is not possible yet. So as you get these things and you get the homeworks and you get the little pieces of information, be sure to grab onto them and try to put them in application form in your life. Try some attempt to apply the you be you and I'll be me idea this week.
So thank you everybody for watching. God bless you each one.
All right. See you.
We'll see you at the homework.